NBC Sports, celebrating its 20th season of Sunday Night Football, welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
And singing our national anthem with Philadelphia's own global icons, Boys to Men. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ring clear, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof for the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Great scene, guys from Philly, with our national anthem on this very special Eagles night. But it's been a preseason all about the Cowboys. What else is new? For more on that, we say hello to Melissa Stark. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Mike. It sure has. A week ago today, the Cowboys traded their star pass rusher, Micah Parsons, to the Green Bay Packers for 2 first-round picks and veteran defensive tackle Kenny Clark. We went to Dallas this week and got their reaction. Dak Prescott telling us that it's a wake-up call to see how much of a business it is, and it made guys take a long, hard look in the mirror. Trayvon Diggs said, from a football standpoint, we lost a great player who made my job a lot easier, but personally, I lost my best friend, and I'm crushed. New head coach Brian Schottenheimer told us he thought Micah would be a member of the Cowboys this season. Instead, a rotation of guys will fill his spot, including 4th-year pro Sam Williams, who is making his first career NFL start. I texted with Micah earlier today, and he said he is still a fan of the Cowboys, and many of his most memorable moments came in that uniform, and that he is wishing his brothers nothing but the best tonight, Mike.
Quite a way for the 51-year-old Schottenheimer to start it all. First shot at being a head coach. 26 years in the league. His late dad, Marty, 8th all-time in wins. Nick Sirianni, age 44, year 5 to the playoffs all 4 seasons, twice to the Super Bowl, the champ a year ago. The stage is set for the NFL kickoff, presented by YouTube TV. It's in the 70s, rained earlier, showers about an hour and 45 minutes away on the radar. Kickoff rule has been adjusted. They're expecting more returns this year. Cavante Turpin is an all-pro kick returner. Jake Elliott will kick off for the Eagles, who won the toss, defer the option to the second half. Our honor to start and end the season. And before a snap, a player you were counting on is out for the season, perhaps with a leg injury. And this man is certainly out for the game. You want to talk about a stunning start to the season. Best player on the Philly defense spits on the Cowboy quarterback. He's ejected, and the Cowboys take off the other way. Javonte Williams, the touchdown. 7-0 Dallas. Wow. The voice is back. Snoop, Bublé, Niall, and Reba. Get ready for some big voice energy. Got a brand new season of The Voice, which debuts September 22nd on NBC and Peacock. Philly's done a great job getting ready for this opening night. Center City has been all lit up in green, and 4 miles down Broad Street here in South Philly, the link as well. For our Accenture in-game update, of course, the big story coming in was the Micah Parsons deal a week ago today. Kenny Clark, who you've seen in this game, and 2 ones. Mentioned we were in Dallas. We talked to Jerry Jones, talked to Stephen Jones, talked to Micah Parsons' agent. Look, there's a lot of he said, she said about the TikTok of how this played out. But that's all backwards. Jerry Jones did say to us when Micah and he met back in the spring, we're 2 fools in the room. One who offered the deal and one who turned it down. Jerry's words. Great line. But what about the future? What does this whole deal mean in your mind?
Well, if Jerry had signed Micah Parsons, he would have had 50% of his cap covered with 3 players. And that's a dangerous place to be honest with you. And as the number kept going up, they started thinking about what that might mean. And I think Jerry just likes the action, to be honest with you. You know, now he has money to spend on new contracts. We've already seen him doing a little bit of that. And more than anything else, he has 4 players now in the first round of the next 2 drafts, and they're supposed to be very good drafts that he gets to play with. So now Jerry gets to play wheeler-dealer.
They've talked some rationalizing missing Micah isn't going to impact them too much. Only time will tell for the Packers and the Cowboys. Right now, the Cowboys are at the 1, trying to take the go-ahead touchdown on the opening play of the second quarter. Back for that right after this. Tonight's kickoff sites are provided by Nationwide. Right across the parking lot, Citizens Bank Park. One with the Fighting Phils. Got another win today. Beat the best team in baseball, Milwaukee, 2-0. They're 6 games up in the NL East, but they are also extending their congratulations to their neighbors, the champion Eagles. Here in the sports complex in South Philly, second quarter begins with the Cowboys. NBC's NFL Kickoff Special brought to you by Hyundai. Welcome to more in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid. And by the Farmer's Dog, real food made fresh, delivered. The Eagles delivered, and so did their fans. Great parade on Valentine's Day to celebrate the title. Jeffrey Lurie, the terrific owner of the Eagles, and Howie Roseman, quarter century in this organization. What a terrific job he has done with personnel, and Nick Sirianni, another hire for this team that has worked out. How do you get that big? You do things like this. This is new and fresh. This is not the old stuff. 585 off the rack. You got it, pal?
Just one time, I'd like to do anything with the bar bending like that.
Right.
Other than dying. I would prefer not to die, but anything else.
Attrition on the defensive side of the ball for Philadelphia includes Brandon Graham. Played the most years for the Eagles. He was part of that defense last year. It was first in the league in points, but he's one of the 10 players lost from the Super Bowl team. That's most by a champion on the defensive side of the ball. And now this is a very young group. Average age just under 25. So Philly has the youngest defense in the NFL. Of course, they miss the leadership of a guy like Graham. 206 games in 15 seasons, but from the crew that brought you The Office comes a new comedy of underdogs with major issues. The Paper. You stream it after the game, only on Peacock. You grab some ice cream from Franklin Fountain as well. Got a chance to check out the early episodes of The Paper. It's terrific. Well, it's not too far away. Milan Cortina, the Winter Olympics from Italy. We'll have it for you in February on NBC and Peacock. The opening ceremony is the Friday before Super Bowl Sunday. What a couple of weeks we all look forward to in February.
Maria Taylor back with you in Philly. Coming up on the Toyota halftime, we'll break down a chippy first half here in Lincoln Financial Field and look ahead to an MVP showdown at Buffalo Sunday night. Mike, back to you.
All right, Maria. See you and the guys at halftime. Great to have our whole Football Night in America team on hand. 30 plays, 216 yards, 3 touchdowns. 2 for Jalen Hurts, 1 for the Offensive Player of the Year, Saquon Barkley. Eagles on top for the first time in 25. This game 1 of the season. Tomorrow night, game 2, Sao Paulo, Brazil. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs trying to make another Super Bowl run. They begin against Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers, streaming exclusively on YouTube. The scene down in Sao Paulo. Look forward to watching that tomorrow night. Of course. Wow. He's just so smooth with that swing of the leg. 7 possessions in the half, 7 scores. Dallas 2 field goals, and Chris backed up. They're very well done to get 3 points out of that.
One stop on 1 third down, the only non-touchdown.
Melissa.
Brian, 4 drives, 4 scores. What's working for you guys?
We're getting completion. We're running the ball well. Our guys are playing hard. It's a hell of a football game right now, and we feel good right now.
And defensively, how do you contain the Eagles' rushing attack, especially Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, we got to tackle better, number 1, and our rush lane discipline's not good enough. We got to get that cleaned up.
Brian, thanks.
Thank you.
Phillies run for 123 yards in that first half. They get the ball to start the second half. Eagles by 1, Toyota halftime time. And here's Maria Taylor. Maria.
Thanks, Mike. Coming up on the Toyota halftime, 2 MVPs go head-to-head with Lamar Jackson visiting Josh Allen on Sunday night. And we've got a celebration of 20 seasons of Sunday Night Football. That's coming up next.
Half from South Philly. Birds by 1. Tonight's kickoff storylines are powered by AWS. Jalen Carter, that ejection. First player on a defending Super Bowl champ ejected in the season opener. Dallas running for a couple of touchdowns between the tackles. They didn't do that either of the last 2 years. For the Eagles, first time they've allowed that to happen in 3+ years. And as for Jalen Hurts, first Super Bowl MVP to score a pair of touchdowns in the first half of the following season opener. Some of how we've gotten to 21-20 as we continue with the NFL kickoff, presented by YouTube TV. Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, Melissa Stark on the sideline. 70-degree night in South Philly. There's still a front to clear here. We may see a little more wind, may get lucky, and the rain could just miss us to the west. We'll keep an eye on it. Kickoff to be returned by John Mechie down the sideline. He's shy of the 30 at the 28. Here's Melissa a moment ago with Nick Sirianni.
Nick, 3 personal fouls, an ejection on defense. What was your message to your guys?
Yeah, we can't have any of those. Obviously, we've given them short fields here. This is a good offense, and we can't help them out at all, so we can't have those.
3 touchdowns, no punts on offense. How do you continue that in the second half?
Yeah, we just got to continue doing the fundamental things, blocking, taking care of the football, making good catches. Jalen's going to do a good job, but we have to be ready for them to adjust, and we will as well.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.
Looks like the Jake Elliott we've come to know. He does on that one. Good from 58, and the Philly lead is now 4. NBC's NFL Kickoff Special is brought to you by Toyota, the official automotive partner of the NFL. Let's go places. And by Lowe's. Lowe's knows Sunday hits different when you've earned it. The Eagles earned that one, that beautiful Super Bowl ring. Super Bowl 59, slightly different from the Super Bowl 1 ring won by the Green Bay Packers. Those little Eagles wings pop out on the ring. It's a very cool looking piece of jewelry. Tonight's kickoff sites provided by Nationwide. Look at the Museum of the American Revolution. Steps away from Independence Hall here in Philadelphia. So much American history. Sidney Brown injured on the last play, being looked at by the training staff on the sideline. Andrew Makuba, the rookie out of Texas, back in a safety spot. Two sets of hands on there. It slides out, confirmed as a turnover. First drive without points in this game. Eagles take over, up 4. Defense loves it. Okay, turnover. Philly's got the ball at their own 16. Teams are out there right now, but I want to take a peek at the radar. We've got some lightning in the area within 6 miles of Lincoln Financial Field. Sean Smith is talking to the folks who are watching this. He's opened the mic.
Suspended for lightning in the area.
Yeah, I thought that was coming. So the game has been suspended with lightning in the area here at 10:26 Eastern Time. There is a cell that is south of us that has crossed into New Jersey, and then we've got other weather right around the airport coming up from Wilmington, Delaware, that is on path towards here at Lincoln Financial Field. And when there is lightning involved, it requires a suspension of the game, and it happens at the 4:44 mark here of the third quarter.
You've been hanging around with Al Roker, haven't you?
I have.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. You got that. I'm looking at your map there. You're working it.
Nobody beats the great Mr. Roker, but we sat through about 1,000 of these in 30 years of doing golf, so you kind of get a fake meteorology degree. And the teams will not clear the field. Oftentimes when this happens, the fans are asked to clear the lower bowl of the stadium. And you get a delay at an odd time when the players have just had the halftime delay. Each team's had a possession in this third quarter, and now they're going to have to cool their heels with just under a third of the game remaining to be played.
Attention, please.
This is the announcer to clear the lower bowl.
A thunderstorm warning has been issued by the National Weather Service
and the whole stadium for that matter.
Area. These storms may produce severe conditions, including lightning and strong winds. For your safety, we encourage you to seek shelter immediately.
There was rain in the forecast all day. It has not rained for a week. It's not going to rain for the next 3 days. It was just this window, so Nick Sirianni and company will head back to the Eagles locker room.
The players hate this. I mean, it's the hardest thing to do in football is to get warmed up. Anytime, practice, game, whatever. So then you go in at halftime, and there's 12 minutes. Okay, you got to get warmed up again. Now you got to go back, and you got to get warmed up again when you've already taken over a quarter of a beating out there. Right. It just gets harder every time, which is what makes the Super Bowl always so hard. That's those 40, 45-minute halftimes. I mean, literally, we've heard people taking naps in between, but you've got to be able to get your body going again. And every time you get cooled off, it just gets harder the next time.
So you see the focus on the two quarterbacks, and Prescott and Hurts as they come in. We mentioned the wind was picking up, these showers that were around us all day, and you have to take safety first. So once there's a lightning strike within a certain radius and the look at the radar, you've got to make that decision to keep some 70,000 people safe, in addition to the players and officials and everybody else on this field. The rain is starting to come down, so hopefully they got ahead of this. If there is no lightning, then we would have been able to keep playing, and there was the hope that with these showers coming at around 10:30 local time, the daytime heating, which sometimes boils up those thunderstorms, would have negated what we're seeing right here, having to stop play, but it did not. So let me ask you this question here. Just in regards to the delay, these teams had not played for these starters 4 quarters. Nobody plays in the preseason. Neither quarterback has played in the preseason. They've come out and been very sharp so far.
Yep.
Could this in any way help to get another break before the last 20 minutes of this game, being that it's week 1 of the season?
Well, it's possible, especially for the Philadelphia Eagles, because without Jalen Carter in there, you have, one fewer guy in there rushing the passer. So, yeah, it certainly could help you a little bit. But that was a huge play that we just saw. Yeah. I mean, let's not underestimate that when the Dallas Cowboys going in, probably at least going to be able to cut it to 1 in this play.
But you saw another huge play after the fumble.
Yeah, watch Dak Prescott at the end of this play. And what we're going to see is him come around and make a touchdown-saving tackle, because nobody is going to catch Quinyon Mitchell, who runs 4.33 in the 40-yard dash. And look how much space he has. And look at the tackle by Dak Prescott. Absolutely perfect. We saw Ben Roethlisberger do it in a playoff game one time. Absolutely. To help out our friend Jerome Bettis.
That's right. That's right. And you saw only the big guys were there. They were not going to catch Mitchell. It's a heck of a play. And
no.
You see that play, and you go back to fundamentals, right? A lot of young folks are starting their youth football seasons, high school football seasons. There's a guy 32 years old, been in the league 10 years. He's running out his fake, and he's staying alive in the play, and that allows him to make that stop.
And a new hamstring to boot, right? And what we've also learned is that he is hyperactive in eating the right foods now.
Right, exactly.
Beyonce, right, is the one that's sort of leading the way for him. And he looked great. We saw that shot of him in the locker room before the game, and he's rocked up. I think you were even talking about when we were interviewing him, like his face looks thinner. He's really ripped up.
Yeah. When you talked to Dak and he walked in the room, he's looking healthy and happy and looked great. And he said, I haven't lost a ton of weight, just kind of repositioned, repurposed. And Dak Prescott, who even told us that he's too flexible, which may have been part of the reason he had the hamstring injury, but his mobility tonight has been a positive for the Cowboys. You going to try to limber up like Dak?
No, I don't care if I'm limber. I just want to get that body that you got to go in there. Look at that tackle.
Heck of a play. But you said it to us all week as we were getting ready and all really month getting ready for this game. When Dak Prescott's been healthy, this has been a 12-win team in the playoffs the 3 years before last year.
Well, and to some extent you feel for Mike McCarthy, the 2 years that they didn't play so well when he was the head coach, Dak Prescott was out. They win 12 games 3 straight times, don't do so well in the playoffs, and then he rips his hamstring last year. Yeah. I mean, this is a guy that was, he was second in the voting for MVP 2 years ago and is coming right back and playing exactly the way he did 2 years ago.
Let's update you on what we're hearing from the NFL. We can peek at the radar as well. 11:15 is when they think the area might be clear of the lightning, and then it would be another 12 minutes of warm-up time after that. So that would be 57 minutes from now or thereabouts to get the game back started one more time. So that gives you an idea of where we are. And you see the radar, which doesn't necessarily show any clouds of ground or any lightning, but you can see some in the distance there. And that's why we've put this thing on pause. Just inside of 5 minutes left, third quarter. Eagles by 4 in a weather delay here in South Philly. After about an hour and 2 minute delay, we're going to get back to action with the Eagles having the ball in a 4-point lead. Teams editing their warm-ups, getting back on the field. There's Dak Prescott, just made a tackle on the last play a moment ago. Time gives us a chance to comb through the video from that very first play of the game and the incident where Jalen Carter was thrown out. Let's go back to that. Now, here is what was going on. Prescott in the huddle, walks out between his offensive linemen, and Dak spits down towards the ground, but in the direction of the Eagles with Carter, who had walked over there, and that begins the interaction of the two. Prescott's spit was down, Carter was right face to face and onto his uniform jersey. Carter was kicked out of the game. The official, Brian Neal, the umpire, was standing right there and saw what went down. So at least it gives you a little bit of the brief history of what happened there.
Yeah, and what we will not know is what was said to make Jalen Carter walk towards the huddle of the Dallas Cowboys. He was 3 yards across the line of scrimmage. Here's the ball here, and that sort of begins it. Now Dak gets engaged, and he walks over and he spits on the ground, and Jalen didn't like that, and nobody would. And so now they come out, and Dak doesn't want to take it, and Jalen doesn't want to take it, and here they go.
And Chris, that other angle showed us that the umpire was looking back towards the Cowboys huddle and saw that, and then was watching the rest of the confrontation. Remember, there was an Eagles player, their fullback on special teams, Ben Van Sumeren, who was down with a knee injury, the same knee that he had injured that cost him the season before, right off that opening kickoff. And Carter was on the opposite side of the sideline. You saw everything that played out. So there's a little bit more of the video evidence of what took place. Much more to be talked about in interviews in the few days after that.
And just to tell the whole story, what Dak did was not a foul.
Right.
What Jalen did was a foul.
The delay, 1 hour and 5 minutes. We get back to work, and remember the last play, Dallas was driving for a touchdown and a fumble recovery for the Eagles. So Philly is set 1st and 10 at their own 16. They've scored on all 4 drives they've had tonight. Just west of us, the link, it is a scene from earlier this week at the newly renamed Xfinity Mobile Arena, home to the Sixers and the Flyers. New name, new upgraded Wi-Fi network. 10 times faster thanks to Xfinity. I'm sure the Sixers and Flyers fans will enjoy that this season. We welcome you back to the NFL Kickoff presented by YouTube TV and begin quarter number 4 with the Cowboys facing 3rd and 10, down 4 to the Eagles.
Hey everyone, we have an all-new show tonight after the game. LL Cool J is here. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, music from Riley Green, and something fun with Saquon Barkley. Back to you, Mike and Chris.
All right, Jimmy. It's usually Jimmy Fallon time right now. We'll get to him after your local news. So Barkley's on the sideline for a moment. Landon Dickerson, the Pro Bowl left guard, is also out of the game for the moment for Philadelphia. Brett Toth is in there at guard for Dickerson, who had a knee injury and then also was on their injury report with a back this week. Cowboys have it at their own 13, past halfway here in the 4th. Philadelphia at home, +4.
It's season 20 of Sunday Night Football.
Season 20 is Sunday night. Will be at Orchard Park for the Bills and the Ravens. The latest version of the Sunday night anthem with Carrie Underwood, year 13 of her doing that. Look forward to seeing that right before kickoff for the Bills and Ravens on NBC. 4:43 to go as we come across midnight here in Philadelphia with that 64-minute weather delay. Cowboys have not scored in this second half as Jerry Jones and the Cowboys hope to get a road victory in this opener against the defending champion Eagles. Like Gene sitting there as well. We had points on the first 8 drives. We've only had points on 1 of the last 6 as Dallas tries to work it downfield, needing a touchdown to take the lead here.
Most bizarre game, hasn't it? It's like couldn't stop anybody at the first half. The second time out killed them all. I mean, really, and to some extent, you got to give the defensive guys credit. They came back, made some adjustments, but anytime you're in week 1, you're exhausted anyway.
Right.
You are. You're just exhausted. You haven't played a game that's this long, and you've had those 2 breaks. And I think it probably, with Landon Dickerson, hurt the Eagles more than anybody because you have a tight back. You go in there, and it's a bigger issue.
Physically and mentally, everybody's kind of wiped out here after midnight. Fans are still in it. They'll be loud. What are you looking here, 4th and 3?
We haven't seen Dak run one time in this ball game. If you go spread, he would have an opportunity to pick this first down up. We haven't seen him run, though. And Brian Schottenheimer knows it. This was a missed chance from stars and playmakers that ordinarily make those plays.
And on opening night, Philly and Dallas delivers. And the champs get win 1.
Good luck the rest of the way. Watch out, guys.
Coaches exchange greetings. They'll see each other week 12 in Arlington. But win 1 of the season goes to the team that won the last one last season. Took a while, got testy, but in the end, the champs get the win. Eagles by 4. Chevrolet postgame coming up right after these messages.
Welcome to the Chevrolet postgame. Here now, Mike Tirico.
Nobody scored in the 4th quarter, only an Eagle field goal for points in the second half. But Philadelphia gets to 1-0, beating Dallas 24-20 here in South Philly with an hour-plus weather delay thrown in. Our players of the game: Jalen Hurts, 4 incompletions, but doing it on the ground, including 2 rushing touchdowns. Saquon Barkley, 60 yards and a touchdown run. And the All-Pro Zach Baun picked up where he left off a year ago. Down to the field now, and Melissa.
All right, Mike, they are not using the word repeat. They are not using the word defend. But, Jalen, how much did this mean? How much does this win mean against a division rival on opening night?
It means everything to come out and start strong. It's a new team. It's a new journey. And we got tested tonight. They played a hell of a game. We know how they are when Dak is back and they got their crew all together. And so a lot of respect for that team on the other side. We just got to clean up some things and play better football, but always good to say that and find a way to win.
You just said that you and Saquon are yin and yang. That's the first time you said that. What do you mean?
A complementary force. Approach things in a very similar way, same mentality, but may express it differently. And so I think it's as complimentary as it gets, man. He's a hell of a player. He's had all the success he's had for a reason. And
both of you had so much success on the ground, but your quarterback outrushed you tonight. What do you think about that?
Oh, man. Here we go. I love it. I mean, at the end of the day, only thing that
62-60.
Only thing that matters is winning football games. And what do we say about land, by air? It don't matter. And he did everything we needed for him to do there.
You told me before the game that you were so amped up that you had to calm yourself down. How did you get into a rhythm, and what was it like to be back on the field?
Just try to focus on my breathing technique. But it was amazing to get back on the field. We got a lot of things to clean up. Obviously, we're happy that we got the win. It's hard to go 1-0 in this league, and especially against a division opponent. But that was the main thing, and we got it done.
Yeah, it was a long rain delay, over an hour. How did you guys come back out and stay focused?
Well, I think our discipline wasn't in it early in the game. Well, we see that in the beginning of the game and how it started. But great job by our defense being able to battle and respond. And guys step in and fill those roles. So it'll be a lot to learn from, man. But we came into this game talking about discipline and focus, and we'll leave it saying the same things. So whether it's our execution or just our overall temperament as we approach it as a team, we just got to be better.
All right, and we have to end with this. You told us this week that NBC was your good luck charm. You still think that?
I think so. And we're going to keep it going.
All right, guys, back to you.
Let's see Saquon, Jalen, and the Birds against the Lions. Week 11 on Sunday Night Football. You heard Jalen talk about the discipline, the 9 penalties, 110 yards. It began with this incident, this spitting incident. Dak Prescott, Jalen Carter, player injured for the Eagles. Carter 3 yards on the other side of the line towards the Cowboys huddle. Prescott steps out, spits, ends up on the ground. Carter then walks back. They engage in a bit of a face-to-face confrontation, at which time Carter spits on Prescott. Umpire was watching it, threw Carter out of the game. Jason Garrett was Dak Prescott's head coach for 4 years. Jason's down there on the field. Jason, did you talk to Dak at all?
Yeah, I talked to Dak as he was coming off the field after the game, and Mike, you described it perfectly. Dak said he was talking to his lineman, he was talking to Tyler Booker, and he had to spit, so he spit over Booker's shoulder, and I guess Jalen Carter was looking at him, and he came over and said, "Are you spitting at me?" And Dak said, "Why would I spit at you?" And he got closer, and he spit back at him. I guess it was a misunderstanding.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It was costly for Carter. Jason, thanks for what you got. That is, of course, one side of the story from Dak. Yes. I'm going to guess Jalen Carter, when given the opportunity, will have a different side of the story, or maybe it'll be the same. Who knows? In any case, it was kind of a bad way to start the season, to be very honest, Chris.
It was, and it's too bad because I enjoy watching Jalen Carter play, and it would have made a big difference in this game. I was impressed with the Dallas Cowboys, the way that they came out, and I don't think anybody gave them a real chance, to win this, especially after Micah Parsons got dealt to the Green Bay Packers. So for them to come out and play the way that they started, and then defensively they played very well in the second half, but give the world champs credit. When it wasn't going right, when they lose Carter, second half, they lose Landon Dickerson. There were a lot of reasons why this one couldn't have gotten away from them, but they made the plays defensively when they had to.
And give me a real quick, how much did the Cowboys miss Micah Parsons' presence in the game tonight?
A tremendous amount, because athletically, it's one thing to get close to the quarterback.
Yeah.
It's another to have the athleticism to get him on the ground. They got close to Jalen Hurts a lot tonight. They didn't get him on the ground, and that's what Micah Parsons can do.
We'll see if Micah goes for the Packers against the Lions in Lambeau on Sunday. Of course, we'll be there week 4 when Micah Parsons returns to Arlington to play the Cowboys. Chance to remind you here from William Penn's lovely city of Philadelphia that the Peacock Pick of the Week from the documentary crew who brought you The Office is out. Do not miss the new comedy following a group of underdogs with major issues trying to revive their local paper. Stream all the episodes of The Paper now only on Peacock. Check out the first few episodes. A lot of fun. If you love The Office, you're going to love it. We'll look ahead to a couple of days from now already. It's Sunday Night Football in Orchard Park with the Ravens and the Bills. Back right after this.